In your hands, you hold a brand new copy of the game, Suzerain. The cover features a charming illustration depicting a mass of grinning laborers loading goods onto a ship. While a richly dressed the box has a nice heft to it. You hear the rattle of individual wooden tokens and feel their weight shifting back and forth. What treasures wait in store for you? Even before you open it, you can tell that this will be a meaty game of grand strategy and complex player interactions. The plastic wrap rips off as easily as a body. There's a hiss as the lid slides off. Inside, you find a thick, full-color. Savor that new board game smell. A mix of wood, paper, and ink, all wrapped in the sweet must of cardboard. Welcome to Suzerainty, a game of economic strategy for the whole family. The rulebook is sumptuously illustrated and thick as a Gradian novel. The colorful illustrations depict cheerful workers picking apricots, hauling marble sculptures out of crumbling temples, and harvesting. The instructions are opaque at first and introduce many concepts you're not familiar with. Fortunately, you soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the suzerain of Revachol. Your objective is to increase the suzerain's wealth and renown by accumulating victory points. That's where the suzerain's vassals come in. The game features 4 vassal nations, each one home to an economically important resource. Each turn, the player collects resources from vassals where they've placed workers. They may then rearrange their workers, fulfill contracts for coin and bonuses, or as you leaf through the pages, your eye catches on a sidebar labeled Advice for Beginners. Remember, there are many paths to victory in suzerainty, but successful players will find one strategy and commit to it. Boring, boring, boring. Tear up this rulebook and commit some old-school atrocities. The actual scoring system appears infinitely complex, with a series of tables and appendices required to compute each player's final victory. You open up a number of pouches containing wooden tokens. There are also several punch boards with other cardboard components that will need to be punched. Each cardboard token makes a satisfying as you pop it out.
What? You're not going to offer to let me punch any of them out?
In addition to the worker and building tokens used by each player, there are also several piles of colorful resource tokens, each from the Empire of Safre, orange apricot tokens, from Ilmarat, the ancestral name of Ilmara, gray marble block tokens, from the Seminine Islands, white.
Oh, those are nice.
You hold the open game box before you. The suzerain. The lieutenant looks over the rulebook.
Holy shit. The average playing time for this game is 1 to 6 hours. I'm not sure we can afford to set aside that kind of time for a game.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. Life is garbage. smell. It's awful and familiar. It doesn't help. You can still smell it. Keep it in now. Don't overreact. Breathe. Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency, that faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be. The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his...
Eyes up, detective. Something's not right here.
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty... Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the left leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading.
Hold on. Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe. He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 of spirits. Or maybe it was just dark. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes empty and wide. Height 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair. Stout build. Age approximately 50 to 60. There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle, a dried chunk of blood, covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. This is what killed him.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you? Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks... You see waves churning below. Something cracks. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him. A .75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly any. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself. Have a
Tear all around us. I'd prefer if you didn't collect it.
True. It feels Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape. The blackness of death. Stench. You think confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't, but that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
At least this man knew how to party. Imagine the same scene without the bottle. Now this is an omen, a sign from above. Don't start drinking again.
Well, at least you're not married.
Or what if you are?
But let's try to not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive. No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple...
Yes, but what if there's a killer on the loose? 2 suspicious deaths in such a short time frame.
Without any further evidence, yes. Oh yes. Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure. What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean. It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body. From where I stand, I can see 2 options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle. A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours, maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare. The guys at processing will take care of the rest. Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from my kinema.
The library card is folded into 2 and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Pub. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased. Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinting Curve. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too. If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 0050.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about...
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper. 2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black pot. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner.
A tragedy.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads. You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. It's no older than a day. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. A man lies on the boardwalk.
Hello again.
Hi again. So, yes. What?
He nods.
Goodbye, officer. Huh? Oh, the hardcore aesthetic is...
It's not easy to reach a harmonic rhythm.
Yeah, gotta compare. See? Our signs are way off.
The large
Good morning, comrade.
Lungs are for love! Love!
a dopamine surge accompanies the word.
Yes, what is it? I don't want to make anything work. Yes, anything. I don't want to make good. Yes, what is it?
Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of
All right. Bring me the game's offsite copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself. It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio.
She's making it extra simple.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old workspace and get the filament. On Rue de Saint-Ghislain, in the East Delta Commerce Center. You might be more familiar with the name Doomed Commercial Area. You could get in through the bookshop on the plaza. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady. That's her name, I believe. There's this giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. Don't worry, you can't miss the bear. It's hideous. The bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse, whatever that means. Of course not. Anyway, I don't have my keys anymore because she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil. Yes, but she literally started praying for the higher powers when she first saw my Reim Civic. I'm not making this up.
The lieutenant coughs like.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was... So what I need you to do here is go have a talk with her, say that you're a policeman and need to get to the building's basement. Thanks. And here's my Kvalsund multi-tool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens.
The legendary Kvalsund multi-tool. This is Prybar version 2.0 for professionals. Like this glorious multi-tool makes a regular Prybar completely obsolete.
Yes? Thanks. Yes? The bookstore lady hates. Of course not. Because she's from Martinez. And people know. She literally started praying for the hot.
The lieutenant coughs like.
Once I came in. So what I need you to do here is, it's a backup of my former employer's project.
She's making it.
The backup itself is destroyed. En route, you might be more familiar. That's her name, I believe. There's this. Don't worry, you can't miss. The bookstore lady hates me. Of course not. Because she's from Martinez. She literally started.
The lieutenant.
Once I came in one morning. So what I need you to do here is, the bookstore lady hates. Of course not. Because she's from Martinez. It doesn't emit. It receives.
The lieutenant coughs.
Once I. So what I need you to do here. Thanks.
The mother of humanism stands above you. A precious.
Hi again. So, yes? What's the deal? All right, do what you gotta do, man. We trust you. If you goodbye, officer.
Tequila Sunset. What's in a name?
Hey, Spiral Boy.
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. I was once a reasonably high net worth I used the profits from I developed the paradigm. 22 full-time employees. It helped, truly. But now, one day
His eyes are clouded. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate in I was halfway done with I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. Ouch, indeed. Reality was looking rather grim just then. So I made my way across the yard. Standing, I wish I were. I rang my... People are naturally wary of... Just then, I experienced... But when I reached my... Anyway, So, now you've heard my tragic tale. The hobo lifestyle definitely has some perks. Not having to pay rent first. But that charm wears off pretty quickly.
He breathes in deeply.
The tale I'm about to tell you, there are many variations.
Are you telling the story of the headless...
Shut the fuck up, Rose.
The streets are warmed by a sun in the harbor's dark.
Our heroine finds herself enjoying what she doesn't know. Well, yeah.
The pause.
With no head on his shoulder.
I thought that he rode a headless pig.
Well, there are many versions of this story. The most... Yes. According to legend, young Gertrude Het made...
Tell him about the two...
Fuck, Rosemary. They were dated. What?
I read the case file.
Right. The wind picks up.
Two women stand on a small outcrop.
The women are caught in the...
Don't turn around.
When she sees something. But there is no light. Ula makes a run for... Her body is never recovered. Word on the street is that she... You know... Gave herself facial...
That part, at least more or less.
See? Told you. Anyway, that's the story of the headless... No one knows.
He won't, though.
Aye. I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
Danko. Danko.
There's no waking.
The legend! He's back. And firstly, I got smokes and piss and a
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bed.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards.
Oh yes, she does. You need to get your drink on. There is no other way for human beings to procreate. Not after 6,000 years of yeast cultivation-based mating rituals.
Okay. Where's this going? Absurdly and pointedly phrased. You can be quite funny, officer. Anyway, what did you want?
She doesn't even understand. You asked her out. Perhaps you're too sober to pull it off right now.
Oh. That's good. Quite the sign. You never know, officer. Something. Oh. Wasn't feeling it. You never know, officer. Oh. This calls for a funeral. You never know, officer. Oh. This calls for a funeral if you... Police business. Oh. That's great. Until then you
Sire, she doth not believe.
Aye. Feel... And why so?
Life world.
If you say so. Unfortunately, the factory's guns are expensive. From time to time, some went to patch their wound. Gone.
The harbour seawall.
No. There's nothing to find. Who knows? Now, before you tell me how sorry...
She really likes those muscles, though.
Us working life didn't really...
This is neat. She looks like she's ready to go. Whoa. In your hand. Parole. What a funny little cat. Don't let the scary medical warnings throw you off. It's an inadequate antidote. It's not gonna give you radiation poisoning, stupid. Pyrrolidon is a perfect match. You need to lower the radiation levels. The container is warm to the touch. Or is that just the anticipation? You screw the lid open and look. What is he? Your mother? Is Kim your au pair? Slurp it. Slurp the morsel of... You suck a manly dose of the extremely chemical smelling liquid into your mouth. There, it seeps into your tongue. When you swallow, it's already almost... It tastes like many things, all melted into one... Not really. It's just a metaphor. This warmth, it makes you want to share your discovery with Kim.
I'm happy for you.
His glasses turn golden as the fire reflects. Just don't mix it with anything, he thinks, looking you over. Wow, Kim's badass. Or he's had a druggy partner. Whoa, look at all these guys go off like fireworks as information pours into you. Why not? This government-developed substance seems Please don't actually operate any fire machines. Already you can tell you're going to be slurping a lot more pyrrolidon. This stuff is going to give you insight into that little flickering light if you can keep the vomit in, because it sort of also makes you want to throw up.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
This is bad. Getting your weapon back is the priority.
Comply, or I will light you the fuck up! Failure to comply says I am the police. Don't move! Don't move! Hands on your head. Suspect is on the loose. That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above was...
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her up.
This is dangerous. You're 70% certain you always leave your gun loaded.
Officer in need of assistance!
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot! Big Rick, it's the goddamn police shitbag!
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police. She thinks she's a police officer. Try treating her like a police officer. A lower-ranking police officer.
What? Sir?
Easy. Press her too hard and shit.
With a swift, poorly coordinated move, the woman slams the megaphone against her lips and teeth.
Officer compromise! Unlawful impersonation! Pigs en route!
Okay, she's actually more agitated now. My bad.
Confiscated contraband! Restricted access!
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now.
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer! License and registration, license and...
She's losing it. One twitch and there would be blood.
We can't leave. A delirious civilian is pointing a firearm at us. Your firearm. You need to solve this.
Here's the plan. Shine the light straight in her eye and immediately dart right. The light will blind her, allowing you to close the distance. Fingers locked behind her head. Knee to the face. Knee to the face. Crush the rib cage. No, that won't be necessary. Look closer. The gun, all 3 barrels, red and blue light shining through. It's not loaded.
Huh? My God, I think you're right.
What? This isn't a police issue. Police weapons have bullets. Police guns have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
She looks devastated. Grab the gun right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore. What?
Poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8 and loneliness. Could be. Her hands were trembling and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with... I don't think there's any need for that. In her... We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
Reflex to what? She stands motionless. Just a heap of... The woman stands slumped. She looked... Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them. Do. You take the vial of Pyrrolidon and the bottle of speed as evidence. She didn't consume them. She didn't look high. She comforts...
You're taking those, are you?
Listen to him, for once.
Sure. I guess that's fine.
The old woman doesn't react. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle.
Oh, is that...
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours. The lieutenant nods.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. What's that, copper?
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Coorong or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her.
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Pig? You're fucking with me. Your gun. She had your fucking gun?
Sure did, boss. Heard him loud and clear. The pig's lost his gun to the pig.
Well, at least I can see you got it back. If you have any questions. Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Anything else you wanted to know? Was? Like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls.
The children kept her together.
Wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, she...
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? No, I didn't.
Yeah, cop. That's some pretty fucking weird Dunno. She lives by the...
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like...
Station 41. A man carries a crate of rusted, unused badges. You think these would net us something at the annual auction?
No problemo, cop man. We take care...
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.